Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us for the Vandis monthly webinar series. As you all know, today's webinar will be presented by Aruba Networks, and they'll be going over a simpler way to test Wi-Fi and application performance and answer any questions that you may have. Doing the session today is Lou Ochikoni. He's the Channel AC Technical Enablement Manager. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you all to visit the Vandis website for upcoming webinars, boot camps, and other events. And also, if you're in a noisy environment, can you please put your phone or computer on mute to eliminate background noise for everyone else? If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to ask them at any time, or you can type them into the message window. With that being said, I'll now turn it over to Lou to begin the presentation.
Hey, good morning and thank you. Thank you folks for joining. Again, my name is Lou Ochikoni. I'm a channel SE for this region for New Jersey and the Mid-Atlantic, which is Philly and Maryland. I'm here to present to you today a topic, most of you know it as Cape sensors. As you can see from the first slide, I'm not a real slide guy. I have a short deck. I'm going to give you a live demo, take questions, make it interactive as much as you need it to be. So don't be shy. So to start, as you can see, it's user experience insight is now what it's called instead of Cape Networks. It's gone through a couple of name changes. It was service assurance. It's been called assurance. It's a product that Aruba brought into its fold, and I would say put some best effort into it to make it an extremely easy to deploy product, a extremely customer user individual friendly product. And what it will enable you to do is, as it says with the insight piece, it's going to enable you to get a excellent view of your network at any given moment, web-based cloud product. So from wherever you are, and the intent was to have an IT person or people be proactive and not wait for, or not be acknowledged of a problem on the network, or I can't get on the Wi-Fi. Don't hear it from an end user, see it, and then be able to act on it and go from there. So there's a lot, we have a lot, everyone knows this, I'm not telling you a story you don't hear all the time. There's a lot we have to manage in IT. This slide here just gives you a basic synopsis of simple stuff. I will tell you, in my home network, I think I have 29 devices on my home network. So my lab included. So as this picture shows, again, Aruba products all down the bottom, smartphones, printers, cameras, to the gateway, to the internet, and then all the applications we use in business world and home almost every day. Wi-Fi performance is impacted by many factors, and I'm going to add to this. It's not on the new slides yet, but it's also Wi-Fi and wireless. Just about a month ago or so, our PLM guys added wired monitoring into the Cape tool. You'll see that in a little while. So many factors, and you can see them on the bottom, from interference to what type of building is it? What type of construction? Is it sheetrock? Is it concrete? If you do sled stuff, you know, schools are brick walls, and Wi-Fi doesn't like to go through brick walls. The pieces on mobility and roaming. Everyone wants to be able to go seamlessly from one room to the next, around the building. All those things affect Wi-Fi, and we all live that way every day. So what is it? NMS shows the network, everything's working fine. You believe it. End users still can't connect, and you know, we get the random call. What this will do is give you edge to cloud visibility insights on everything on your network. Why are insights essential? Some stats here: 57% of issues are detected before the IT department knows. 66% of IT people say that it's getting more complex, and we all know that's true with the security stuff we go through every day. And then 34% cite poor network connectivity, web, cloud, SaaS performance. Now, us as IT people, what do we always do? First thing we do, we walk in somewhere, we want Wi-Fi. Do we always believe that one of our end users is saying it's a poor network connectivity? Sometimes they compare it to if they have really good internet at home, stuff like that. So I don't know that that number is always accurate, but the stats that are out there that you can look up. It says, 34% of people we all work with think our networks aren't that great. And then you get gripes from end users, the old water cooler jokes sitting around the water cooler, like, can you believe it? I can't get on a network, stuff like that. So with all those things in mind, this tool will help you come and manage and measure what you're going to see. So it's a silly slide with a workbox because none of us in IT have hammers and stuff, but it is giving you a basis of, okay, the more tools we have in our shed or in our toolbox, the more tools available to us as network people, the easier it is for us to see and to determine what's the root cause, how did it happen, where is it going on in my network, and then act on it and visibly act on it. So working smarter, being proactive. The why to buy, the 3 tenets to why to buy, essential, understand and understand your edge to cloud experiences, because I work from home. So if I have to help a customer and I can't get to that customer, this will enable me to get into their sensor and take a look and see where their problems are. It's really simple to deploy. I'm going to go through that whole process with you. So it's not something where you need a IT degree to get it. I can literally send it to my parents who are in their 80s and say, can you plug this in and just check for the green light? It is that simple. And then it empowers our proactivity. Same thing we're talking, drive efficiency, your customer satisfaction. So it's to you guys in IT, it's your end users. To me at Aruba, it's the partner, and then it rolls downhill. So everyone's job satisfaction, everyone seems happier, and then we don't get those complaints. So inside your firewall, you can see the CAPE sensors on the left with the little green light on it. This is the dash. There's a dashboard below it that I will be showing you. The Wi-Fi, again, wired also, the cloud, and then outside your firewall. You're going to be able to see how your inside network communicates to the outside of your network and whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And I don't want to read this because you're all adults as I am. I just basically told you all that. So the deck will be available. The deck will be distributed. So just so you know, you can have the deck and go back to it. So understanding what empowers us and fast, you want to know and resolve issues. So what does that mean to us? We want to know what it is. Then we want to know when, where, and why. And what we want is we want less effort to resolve our problems. So with that, less effort, less cost. You're spending less time fixing something, repairing something, so you could be focused on somewhere else. And then hopefully it leads to less frustration because you're able to see this at a glance from anywhere, even on your phone. You can bring up the browser on your phone and take a look at this. It's a purpose-built sensor, so it's simple to set up and deploy, as I said before, and this side has it for any wired and wireless network. Even your home, if you want to put one in your house to see what's going on, it's available to do that. It can do that, sorry. One per, they give you little examples here. So if you have a small branch or, a small office, like Starbucks, and they would use one per site, 5 to 10 if you're in a campus environment or venue, and then one per wired network topology. So on the larger ones, it really depends on if people are, say, I'm experiencing a problem in my network, or you know what, when I'm in this corner of the building, I can't get on the Wi-Fi or it stinks. You can plop one of these in there, just plug it in, sit it up on a shelf. You don't want to mount it to the ceiling because you want it down towards where the end user is actually working. So if you could put it on their desk and just say, a note on it, say, don't touch this. Honestly, within 24 hours, you'll get a read. We try to tell people, go back in a week. You'll get a week's worth of data that is stored. You can review a week's worth of data and then bring it back or go back to the customer and say, hey, look, I ran these tests, this is this, or maybe the AP is having issues. It'll break that down for you as you look at it. And then your cloud-based analysis, again, this is the dashboard. I will show you that we actually have, we had an additional icon that was taken out of the dashboard. And it's kind of like you're driving a car. It's green or red. So red means no good or stop, and green means you're good to go. So zero touch, you can see how small it is, 6 by 6, not that deep. They are white. They do have the black rim around them and a green light in the front if it's working properly. You could place or mount it any way you want, connect power or PoE switch. And plug it in, and you get to log into a dashboard. You'll set yourself up with a username and password to the Device Insight website, and I'm sorry, User Insight. And that's it. You'll just then log in with your username and password. All of us just use our email, our corporate email. Here's a little picture of the dashboard. You're going to see it in full life. It's really hard to read these things here. I will blow my screen up so you can see it. Is green performance okay? Red, there's an issue. That's how simple it goes. You can drill down and do fast troubleshooting on the Wi-Fi, on the internet, or Ethernet, sorry. You can see, is it trouble going out to my DHCP server? Is it trouble from the gateway? Is it an incorrect password? All that will come up in a troubleshooting screen when you drill down, and then you can run another test after you resolve the issue. Not knowing what industries you guys are in, this device being it's so simple, you can look here. So you have the smart workplaces like our corporate office, manufacturing plants, education, and retail and large public venues. So it's not a market specific product. It wasn't designed that way. It was designed so any individual can place it to try to troubleshoot any issues that may be on their network and see them, what's going on. So my top takeaways out of this would be, do you want incident management where you have a long process of how things happen, identify it, log it, assign it, resolve it, close it, customer satisfaction report? Or do you want to be able to look at a dashboard and basically go, here's the issue, let's get it done right now. Let's resolve it right now. You want a red sad face, or would you like a happy green face? And really, they hand us out these buttons with green and red faces, so we actually have them like on our backpacks and stuff. So, and then end user benefits. The network just works this way. We need it to work. It's accessible. Performance meets or exceeds the expectation. It's not working right. Our network stinks. Blah blah blah. It's meeting or exceeding what you want it to be. And then for IT people, you understand the problems in real time, details, context, where it is, and why it's adversely affecting your business. You can prioritize and know what and where to fix. And then, that's silly, but be a credible IT hero. If we're proactive in our industry and we address issues as we see them quick, without getting 2 and 3 phone calls, everyone's happier. Our bosses are happier, the end user's happier, and we can have a good day. So as I said, I wasn't a slide guy. I went through them quick. I'm open for questions now, if you want. If not, I will proceed with the demo. Any questions? Okay, I don't see the questions, so that's why I asked. That, go here. All right. Well, first thing I'm going to do is show you Can someone acknowledge that they are seeing my screen still, please? Okay, thank you. And one thing that I forgot to mention, again, we multiple customers, partners, it's multiple products out there. Cisco, Aerohive, anyone's network, Juniper. This will work. It's vendor agnostic. It fits in the line of our Airwave product and our ClearPass product and Device Insight product. It does not matter the network you are on. So don't think that's has to everything be all Aruba. It does not. This can go into a network that's all Cisco and work the exact same way. So my screen's up now. I hope you see it. And it is my Aruba dashboard. You can see on the left side, well, I'm all green, and I'll go through this for you. So I got to name it. I set it up as my lab. If I just highlight over it, as I just did, it brings up my sensors serial number. Do I have any alerts in the last 24 hours? I had 6. And if I go here, come on, work. Trying to get my alerts there. So there's my alert screen. And it gives me my SSID, what my speeds are, what my MAC address is, what channel I'm on, and when did it last scan my sensor. Over here under services, and I'll go deeper into these, I set up these services. So my Wi-Fi, my DHCP, my gateway, and my DNS. And then I do not have any internal services because I have a server that's offline. So if I had a server that was off in line at my lab, I set up a service that says, scan this, make sure I can either ping it, and we'll go through these choices you get. You get to set up what type of service you want to have communication-wise. And then these are external to my network. Dropbox, use it every day, Google Docs, Google Mail, Facebook, Netflix, and just regular Google. So constantly doing it. You can see I have alerts on Dropbox, and the alerts were my network was down. So they're having it was bouncing back and forth. I could not communicate with Dropbox. So how does and then it has a mapping sensor via Google Maps. It's a Linux box with Google Maps. So if I click on the map, it's basically where I'm sitting right there. I'm sitting in Somerset, New Jersey, and it knows where my sensor is. So if a sensor was you put it in the corner of a building, you put multiple in, you can go to it and say, okay, that's in Joe's office down the hallway. So here's how simple it is to set it up. You plug it in, comes up green. You have to go in and just do a couple of simple things. Set up your sensor management, which is right here. You get, if it was brand new, you would click add. I could just click edit and go to it. And I'm setting up what my lab is, wireless. I click configure, put in if it's a password, if it's going to clear pass or whatever you want it to be. There's advanced settings. You can change those if you want. You can put an address in. It does a packet capture by default. I recommend to people put on light so you're not getting full capture all the time because it will slow your network down if you have too many of these running. And then you save that. You set up a group. What do I mean by a group? I only have a single one here. So a group, I'm in my office building and I want to deploy 3 of these. You set the group up first, whatever your company name is, and then you go back to the sensor, you add the sensor into that group. And then when you're on your main page, up here, you see I have all groups. I can go here. If I had multiple groups, I just go there and select which sensor it is. So a sensor, if you want to do it right, should belong in a group. You don't have to if you just have a single one. I would recommend you doing it. It makes life much easier for anyone else troubleshooting. So then you come across the top here, and I can click my networks, and there's my wireless network. I can add a new network if I want, which I'm going to add a new one later. My SSID, what my passphrase is, it's hidden unless you unhide it. How many sensors are there, and when the last update was. Same thing for wired. I don't have a wired network in here, but if I did, you would put the alias in. If you want to specify a VLAN that you want to test a single VLAN, slide it over, it asks you the VLAN ID. And you could again go to advanced and you can set it for what you'd like to test. It's really that simple. Testing purposes. You have a test configuration and then a core configuration. So core, what I want to do first. As you can see here, I turned packet capture off here because I have it on light in a previous screen. But this is the core. This is in the box. These are all changeable, but these are the defaults. So it's going to scan an AP every 5 minutes. It's going to do SSID check I left them all at 5 because I'm a single person in the house with a dog. So I'm not going to slow my own network down scanning every 5 minutes. Plus, I want the data to be able to do things like this and show customers and partners like this is how simple it is. You can go to any one of these and click it. Hold on. Or unclick it. So I can say I want to scan, I don't want to scan by unchecking the box. And then it just won't test that. On the test configuration, it tells you how many sensors it's going to test. You can change your selection, but really, again, you just go down here, and these are the ones I picked, and I turn them on. You can add a test by clicking Add Test, and this is what I was going to before. You could say internal predefined, and there's a drop-down menu. And you can see I was testing something against a Meraki AP. You can do internal custom. And then custom, you get to pick these tests or search for another one you might think you want to test. Like you can run an iPerf test. You can telnet to it if it's a server, a web server. So and all it is by clicking the button here. And then you have the same thing for external. You can do predefined externals, which are a pretty good list, as you can see. Salesforce, Skype. Actually, I should put Skype on too. Tell you what, right now, Skype. And then it comes up with a target address, Skype for business. I click add. Now Skype's in the bottom here, down here, add it. So, and then the next time my device scans, which will be 5 minutes, I should see Skype information, which I am on Skype. So, then you set thresholds. Thresholds again. Do I want a warning if my SSID is not there for 5 minutes? I messed my network up last night. My SSID wasn't here for about 5 hours. So I was scrambling, getting my own network back together. Don't know exactly what I did, but I got a warning and I kind of giggled like, oop, I know I did it. And then it totally went out and mine went to red. So again, you could change these timers. You could turn them off if you want. Then you could do your RSSIs, drop them low, bit rates, and there's more at the bottom. Yep. In some businesses, you want to know high channel utilization. Why is it staying on a channel for a certain amount of time? Why is it alarm automatically working? Or air match, depending on what you're using, or any other product. So you can set this. These are the defaults, 60 and 70 for a minute. So if it's channels high for 1 minute, 60% usage, I'll get a warning. If it hits 70% usage, I'm going to get an error, and I know to go adjust it or go take a look at it. I'm an alert screen. I'm not moving for me. Hold on. Click alerts. You can mute your alerts. You can run reports. Like I could just set it right now, go over here and say, I want a weekly report of my own network. And every week, some companies, their boss, they might want to see that, whoever's in charge of me. You know what? Run me a network report. Let me know each week how our network's doing. And you can add webhooks in here to test stuff. You can subscribe to other alerts if you'd like. And you can see down the bottom, I get emailed alerts, and I get them Monday to Friday from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. That's changeable too. Customers that I know usually set them for 24-hour alerts to a certain individual or a standard service mailbox. This way they know they're getting them. All changeable parameters. But you don't need to set any of them other than your Wi-Fi SSID and password, and if you plug it into your wired network to get the box off the ground, all of them can come with the default information. Then you get to set up your company, general terms, who you are, when it activated, number of sensors, number of users. I can do a download, and I can go to danger zone, and then under team management, I could set. Right now, you can see me. I'm set as administrator for all groups. You could give individuals read-only access. So they can just get in there. They can't change anything. They can just view. They can see alerts, and they can view the information. And then you have a button for my account, which again, you set this up with the website, which is the dashboard. If you see in the dashboard bar, it still says dashboard.capenetworks.com. That will be changed soon, but you get to change that. You can put your own picture in here if you want, your phone number. And what my home company is Aruba Seal. As an engineer for Aruba, we all set ourselves up initially to go to Seal, so we can demo it. And I'm going to show you the difference why Seal is a good way to look at it, because mine's all green, and I can make mine be all green by just having one silly thing on it. But what's in a real network? So if you're in charge, just say you're a multi-site customer and you have 3 or 4 buildings and you have a sensor at each one of those buildings, and you set your groups up properly, well, they'll be set up as sites. So you set yourself as an administrator to manage different sites. So what you do down here is you come down and you say switch account. So from building 1 to building 2. And as you can see, if you had too many, you could search for it. But current one, I'm in Aruba Luochaconi, and then I can go to Aruba Seal. This would be what most people complain about their network when you see what this looks like. Doesn't look very good, does it? Especially on the experience side. But you can see we're testing stuff to Prague. This is Eric's sensor. It's probably not plugged in. Central Lab, Aruba Central's lab, we have a sensor there. CompTME and Laguna. So again, foreign place, we're testing, we're running these out to certain places. And then I don't know what this last one is, the ZAG. So you can see not a good user experience. And if you just highlight the face, you'll get them all in one caption. And you can see towards the bottom of that screen where it says ongoing alerts, it gives you what the alert is. Unable to resolve a host name, no response from DHCP server, Wi-Fi pre-shared key is incorrect. All those things to me and to you should be important and kind of easier to fix, because now I know exactly what it is, and it's telling you how many sensors and how many SSIDs are affected. And then there's 6 other alerts at the bottom. So that screen, when you go into testing mode, testing screen, and you can see I don't have all the original buttons I had up top because it's Seal Lab. But it also goes here and says, all right, what's my services? My Wi-Fi's got 10 hits, DHCP. Oh, the gateway's good, DNS is good, and Ethernet's good. So my wired part's good, but I have a lot of problems with my Wi-Fi in this instance. So I just click on the Wi-Fi, and it's going to bring me up the Wi-Fi itself, what the status is. You can see all the errors here, and you can move the bar, and it's going to give you the time and the day. This is saying Monday the 24th. So now we're at Tuesday. And it's giving you the time and date of the alarmed instance. And if you just look down below, it says pre-shared keys incorrect. Keep going down further, you'll get each one. And then literally you can go over to the right of that, and you can highlight any part of this bar too. Double click it. I'm not getting it to work here. And it drills it down. You can see AP association time. Right here, look, I got a spike. It's all, I'm looking at the bottom of the screen, guys. So down at the bottom, AP association time, I had a spike here. And then I had another spike here. What spiked my network? What's going on? All right. I just saw a question pop up. Does somebody want to read that to me? Ladies, are you there?
You want? Hello, we're here. Sorry, I had it on mute.
I understand. Believe me, I understand. There was a couple of questions. I can hit them now. I just saw one about clients.
It says, what about the number of clients that are being impacted if it were a specific access point?
That's a great question, and something I should hit on earlier. Think of this box as a client. Think of this box as your smartphone, your laptop, any other device, your tablet, your iPad, your Roku TVs, whatever you want. This is a client itself. And what it's simulating back to you is he or she, whatever you want to call it, it's the client. So if Lou says in Lou's office, I can't get Wi-Fi, and you just put the Cape sensor in Lou's office, it's going to act as if it was sitting there as Lou and run all these tests for you. So it's not going to give you number of clients affected. As the partner or customer, you're going to have to know that in that area, there's, I don't know, 20 people, conference room, 20 people, but it's really a client that's the best way to think of it. It is a client or an end user. Any other questions? Okay, so I'll keep going. So again, under services, we clicked on Wi-Fi. I'll click on DHCP now. And again, it's going to bring the status. It's going to tell you no response from the server on 2 sensors and 4 SSIDs. I can hit a drop-down menu there, but it actually goes further. Tells you when the event took place since yesterday, the guest network, what IAP it's on. So you know exactly where to go, how to resolve it. And then on the right, again, it's showing you it's still going out and trying to reach the DHCP server, and it's giving you the time that it tried with the IP address. So all the information that's pertinent. And then down on the bottom, you see there's a little scale graph to a different IP address, but it's not hitting it. It's just hitting it a dot every now and then. And that's probably the one that's giving us the most problem. And this, another thing to note, sorry, this is the last 24 hours. You can hit that drop-down menu and change it. You can look at your last hour, your last 3 days, 7 days, 30 days. Just set it right here. What time zone you're in, apply it, boom, it'll take note of it. And then I'll look at the gateway because it's green, but I want you to be able to see mine were all green and DNS is green. So that we have internal stuff set up there, and they're running internal tests too, as you can see on the left. CRM, the Airwave server, ClearPass server, all our internal servers. Now, why is CRM and Airwave 10 have a lot of errors? I can tell you Airwave 10 is because we're doing some upgrades to it and trying to get the new version of software working. And ClearPass Central Seal Branch is because us as engineers go in there all the time, make changes and play with it, take it up and down like yo-yos. So that's why that one is the Central Seal Branch. ClearPass down below, the one that's more active, is green. So each one of these you set up as I showed you on that other screen. And if you want to just test one server, two servers, you have the ability to pick internal and external what you want tested. And then again, outside. So all of our problems in our Seal Lab are all internal. Crappy experience, services on Wi-Fi are bad. The internal networks are getting pounded with bad service. But look, going outside, I look great. Everything going outside my network. So what the sensor does is like you in your office, you open up your Google Mail. It goes out. It pings Google Mail and says, okay, you there? What's the speed? What's the rate? What's the any lag time? No, good, green. Same thing all the way down that line. Skype, Dropbox, we have YouTube set up because obviously we do YouTube videos for training stuff, Facebook. So anything you want tested outside of your network, if you assume someone's going somewhere, like gambling site or something, and everyone says no, we don't go there. You could just put that website in and see if it gets hit, and then act accordingly. Microsoft Online, all these applications we use daily can all be tested from inside your network going out and giving you all the information that you would possibly want. So I just clicked on GitHub and it just drills down. I could close the time window, but it just drills down, gives me a status, gives me alerts. What were my alerts? And what about it? What's the port it went out on? So this is 2 ports, and then it told you what it tested. It pinged it. So this simple test was from inside my network, that Cape sensor pinged GitHub. That's it. And then over here, what was my latency, packet loss, jitter, and any elapsed time. So if people say your network's slow, you will be able to see right away, is it slow? Was it a given moment in a day? What happened at that time? And again, I can't set anything up, but I'll just, I'll go back to my account. So you can see green again, which is prettier. So when you're building this, you can come in here and you can actually, what they're doing, being it's web-based, they're doing a what's new. So if I click on what's new, I'm pretty sure the wired information is going to come up, and I'll show you now. Wired testing upgrades. So yes, so it'll tell you what we just did, and this was done May 17, 2019. And it tells you you can also assign a static IP on wired, configure a proxy. It literally tells you, and then it goes backwards. What did they do on 2019, May 2nd? And it keeps going back further. So it's an update that, being it's web-based, you don't have to reach out and download an update or firmware update. This is going to be updated for you on the fly. Also, what you could do there is documentation. This did link at one point, and we're still working on it. It linked back to an old 2018 Cape how to install me thing. Right now, I believe, and I'll click it for you, it's going to go out and load, and it's help. It's a forum that you type in your question, and you'll get an answer. And you can see testing. These are real individuals like you and me that put something in, wanted to run a test, something didn't work right, how to set up Captive Portal. And you can see in Captive Portal, which is towards the bottom, I'll bring it here, right in the middle of the screen, Captive Portal, there's 2 articles in that collection. So I click that, it would give me the 2 articles. The Wi-Fi one below it, there's 10 articles. So you'll get the feedback back and forth of what these articles are. And as they're updated, they're automatically updated. Go back to my experience here. And then, like I said, you have switch account and you have log out. So again, it's a client, it's a wonderful product to assist in troubleshooting. It's not going to fix it for you. It's not the magic pill, but it should give you a great user experience. That's why I said think of the CAPE as a client. It's a user, so that's why it's called User Experience Insight. So it's a great tool, inexpensive. I don't talk pricing. I just know it's not expensive. I know I have rolled out a lot of these, and there have been a lot being ordered for the mere fact that you can just place it. I can be in another state, and you give me the access, admin access, and I can look at it and say, all right, Mr. Customer, or hey, Bob in IT, look at this, look what just happened. You could be sitting in a hotel, you could be sitting on a beach on vacation. You could still get insight of your network and what your users are experiencing at any given moment. I know it took 36 minutes. There's really not much else in this that I can go through with you. There's one more thing. Bottom right of the screen, you see this little chat. It doesn't say it, but that's a chat window. And if I click that, I would be brought to, you also would have the ability to do it. You get brought to the CAPE engineers, and I said CAPE, User Insight. They are product specific. So setting it up, activating your account, simple question that you couldn't find in documentation, those guys are available 24/7. I know that because on Father's Day night, we were out somewhere, me and another engineer prepping for a presentation the next morning. We couldn't get it to work in a hotel. We clicked on a chat, got somebody on the phone at 9 o'clock on Father's Day, and it was a setting being we were in a hotel we had to modify. So it's there for you for help, as is your partner's there for your help, and as I'm here for help. So that's why I can only state over and over, it's so user friendly that you really don't need assistance, maybe with the first one, but after the first one, it's kind of cookie cutter, and I think you'll enjoy the benefits. So I'd love to open up for questions, whether it's in writing, you guys want to open their mics up, as long as we don't have a flood of, but I'd be open to questions to try to direct you in any way you'd like.
Hi,
Alex,
this is
you asked.
Joseph. Can you hear me? Oh, I'm sorry.
I can. No, go ahead.
So my question is, what are the biggest points you bring up with customers that are currently not on Aruba? I know the technology works on any technology, but if we run into that, that Cisco shop, what are the best ways to bring the product up to them, and just the questions we should be asking?
Well, if honestly, I have one in my car all the time with my kid. I would just bring it in and say, hey, you want to see something neat? Let's go to lunch. What do you mean? Can I plug this in your network on your desk? Give me Ethernet at your desk. Let's plug this in. Let's go to lunch. When we come back from lunch, I want to show you something really cool. Because if it's set for 5 minutes, which is the default, when you come back in an hour from lunch, you will have data like this that you can show them to prove that it doesn't matter. But I will tell you, my home is not Aruba Network. My home is Comcast, Xfinity, or whatever. It's plugged in down there. We'll have Aruba access points here? Yes. But the network itself, it's plugged into my router, which I got from Xfinity. So actually, router to firewall, it's in my firewall. So it's not, it should be an easy conversation if you're just, you know what, there is, I'll include it, the link to the website. There's a customer presentation piece that it's almost like the SEAL lab I went to, which is internal. There's an external one that you can bring up the screen I have right here and show them. But to me, and I've done it with 2 customers, I did it at Villanova College last week. I just plugged one in and we went to lunch. We came back and the guy was like, damn, that's pretty good. I was like, it is pretty good. And it was very simple, right? So I would think as a customer partner, you'd want to get 1 or 2, or just have one, see it yourself, and then see if you believe that. I think it's an easy sell once the people see it. So hope that answered.
Yep, that's good. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Chan, you asked how much they cost. I couldn't tell you. You would have to ask the salespeople. Robert Harris, did that say Airwave 10? You caught that, did you? Yes. We are in the process of playing around, trying to enhance Airwave and come up with a better solution for everybody. So yes, it's nowhere near ready to be out. It's in seal. That's why it's in seal. So we can play with it. And I'm actually looking in the chat window to see if there's anything else. So Alex, if you want to unmute or type it in there, you say, what about MS365? As what? As going out and just pinging it or doing a test to it? I don't know, maybe we lost Alex. But I will answer it from what I believe you mean by that. So it's an application. It's on there. So when we go to set up a service, an external one, just click the wrong button. Go to set up an external service. Under testing, add a test. We would just do external. If it's not predefined, which I'm not sure it is, it might be, you would then just put it in custom. You would have to know what you want. There's Microsoft Online. So could that be 365? I'm pretty sure it is. They just made it generic, right? Yeah. So you just click that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do it to mine now. So thanks. You're helping me add to my network, and then just click add. And when you go back to your main screen, there it is on the bottom. So that'll run my next test too. Anything else, guys? I am here. I will sit here for the next 20 minutes and answer anything you want. I just think if you got one in your hands, and that's why I gave you a green one in that Seal Lab, and hope I didn't go too fast. It's a tool that I think will enhance any IT department in any network, and just make it like schools have limited IT staff. We all know that. And sometimes the IT guy is the janitor or the gym teacher. This could be something that would help them because, all the time in SLED, people, well, in this corner of this building, no good Wi-Fi, and this could help. So you put you think of it as a user, you put it where the trouble supposedly is, and you leave it. Leave it for half a day, leave it for an hour, come back, you'll get your results. Anything else?
I see you use this in an office application. Can we just roll these out in a warehouse environment? Just to,
yes.
And what's the density? How many can you have concurrently running?
Being they're all individual, think of it as like me, you, and 20 people going in a building. We all have our own device. So we're all going to pick up the Wi-Fi or plug in. So it's a user. So if the density would be, I usually tell people, put them where your trouble spot or somebody complains the network's bad. But if not, you could put them in four corners of a building. You could put them, as long as you put them down where the user experience is going to be. If you put them up on a ceiling, like these have a wall bracket that you could put it at 3 foot height, like sitting at a desk. But you know what, if there's a second Ethernet jacket, is that live? Yes, I plug it in, put it right behind the guy's laptop or computer or sitting in the corner of his desk. So you can put, the most I've seen put out was 20, and that was in a really, I don't know if you guys know New Jersey, but we did it at the old Bell Labs building, which is Bellworks now it's called. It's a huge building. I mean, it's 4 individual buildings, multiple floors, but on the main floor, they wanted to know the experience, and we popped in 8 of them, basically around the outside 4, and then 4 in the middle, like strategically placed. And I think the place is 4 million square feet total. So it's huge, and we did 8. And again, you could put one and then let it capture that area, and the next day you move it to another spot. So, one could let you troubleshoot, multiple times. It's not fixed to a given location. It's like you walking from one office to another. Now that user's in that office, let's test it from here. Anything else, guys or girls? All right. Well, I want to thank you for your time. These get set up by the partner. We get invited to speak. I hope it was insightful for you. I hope it was useful. And we can go from there. Like I said, I will share the deck. I'll share the link. I have to find the link for the customer public site that you can go and bring up the dashboard. It won't let you change anything, but you could bring it up as soon as you get it and start clicking through the buttons like I did. You're just in view only mode. So you can get a better feel for it, maybe come up with talking points you want to. If you ever need me to help or have a conversation, feel free to reach out. I'm here. If I'm not, I'm in the field, obviously, but I do answer my phone and I do answer my email. So by phone or text is the easiest way because I do kind of move around a lot. But again, I want to thank you. I want to thank the organizers for setting this up. If there's nothing else, we can close this down if you'd like. You're welcome, Robert.